Welcome back everyone to Mona's Take. I am your host Mona Rose and we're here to talk about everything reality TV. Today's video I'm going to cover the rumored cast for the challenge CBS. It has been dropped on Twitter by GamerVev at GamerVevVev. I'm going to give my reaction, my predictions, and cover who the rumored cast is going to be. So I'll be back in a moment and we'll be talking about all of it. Stay tuned. People are acting on a whole nother level on that. I can't wait to see that karma train coming through. Choo-choo. Mood of the day. Really? You gotta give us more credit than that. Some people, buckle up, buttercup. When someone shows you who they are, believe them. Welcome back. I'd like to thank all my new subscribers. I appreciate each and every one of you. I'm really excited to see where this is going. I'm just enjoying the ride at the moment. But thank you to each and every one of you for your support. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss anything I've got coming up. I'm covering the challenge. I'm covering the All-Star Challenge. I'm covering now the Challenge CBS, Big Brother this summer, Survivor, anything reality TV. So make sure you hit that notification bell. All right. The cast list has dropped from GamerVev via Twitter. This is a rumored cast. It is not from CBS yet. So I'm going to give you my reaction to what we have so far. First of all, when CBS put this out, I was under the understanding that it would be Big Brother, Amazing Race, and Survivor players. And I'm thinking, they're on season 42 of Survivor. Season 38 or so of Amazing Race. Big Brother, we're up to this summer will be 24 seasons. I'm a bit disappointed by the cast. I figured it would be across the board. They'd have players from different shows at different times. This cast list is so stacked that it's not even funny. So we're going to go through them right quick. From Big Brother, season 23, we have Tiffany, Xavier, Kylan, Alyssa, Azza, and Derek X. We have David Alexander from BB 21 and 22. We have Angela Romans from Big Brother 20. Enzo from 12 and 22. Christmas from 19 and 22. So out of the 10 Big Brother players that we have, 6 of them are all from season 23. All of these people work together in season 23. Amazing Race, we had one player. One. James Wallington from season 32. That's it. Now, we've had some great players from Amazing Race over the years. So for us to just get one from Amazing Race, that just doesn't seem quite right. The next is Love Island. Something that they sold off the rights to that they're not even doing anymore. But we have a large number of members from that cast. From Love Island 3, we have Cinco, Cachet, Giovanni, Olivia, Corey, Shannon, and Josh. Love Island 2, we have, I know I'm not going to pronounce this right, Celie and Justine. And then another Love Island, it didn't say which one she was on, but Kira Green. This is a show that I don't watch. I don't know any of these people. I think I did see 1 or 2 shows from season 3, watching it with my daughter when we're playing cards and stuff. So I never really got into it. So I recognize the name Cinco and I recognize the name Cachet. And then we go on to Survivor. We have Sarah Lucina from Keg Island. I know I'm not pronouncing that right. I'm horrible with these names. Game Changers and Winners at War. We have Tyson from Tocantins, Heroes vs. Villain, Blood vs. Water, and Winners at War. Dominic Abate, Ghost Island. Ben Drybergen, Heroes vs. Healers vs. Hustlers, and Winners at War. Tasha Fox, again from Cagayen. I have no idea how to pronounce that. And Second Chances. Then we have from season 41, Danny McCrae, Leanna Wallace, and Chantel Smith. Danny, Leanne, and Chantel all work together on 41. Then we have Desi Williams from Heroes vs. Healers vs. Hustlers. Now, like I said, we've only got one from Amazing Race. We know that they're filming in Argentina. I feel like if this is the actual cast, it's going to be a crap show. I am not excited about this cast at all. I think it's too stacked. I think that you want to talk about pre-gaming. There's no way these people can't pre-game. They all work together. They're all from the same seasons. So you know they have to call each other up. Hey, I'm going on. Are you going on? Hey, yeah, let's work together. Now, I'm really shocked at the cast. They don't have any big names. They don't have any of the best of the Big Brother players, the best of the Survivor players, the best of the Amazing Race players. I do know from Janelle that over 100 Big Brother players were called, and then they whittled them down to see who would go on. I also caught one of Cody Calafiori's Twitch streams where he was gaming, and he went into a rant about Janelle saying that him and Derek were pre-gaming, they were going to be on the show, they were going to run the show, yada, yada, yada. Cody finally came out and said, look guys, I can't be on the show. I didn't get the shot. I have to kind of watch how I word this so that I don't get knocked off. But you know what I mean. He wouldn't take the shot. So evidently if you don't take the shot, you don't get on any of the CBS shows now. I personally think that that should be a personal choice and not mandated, but I guess they do have the personal choice whether they want to go on the show or not. So he said, look, I'm not going on the show. I can't go on the show. I don't qualify to go on the show. So, is that a reason that we have such a stacked cast instead of spreading it out amongst the seasons? If CBS The Challenge is going to be anything like CBS MTV, we know they do some pretty serious challenges. It's not the backyard stuff that you see on Big Brother. It's not those kind of competitions. You see a little bit more of the competitions from the challenge would equate to the Amazing Race and Survivor. A little bit more dangerous. And even those are not to the level of the Challenge MTV. They're not dropping anybody out of planes. They're not hanging anyone over 1,000 feet of, out into the ocean. If you watch the Challenge MTV, it is tough. And you've got to be an athlete to be able to compete on that show. So if CBS is going to have a spinoff, and they're going to have these amazing challenges, this cast is not going to do it. I don't believe this cast is going to do it. Now, some of these men and women, yes, they're very physically fit. Some of them can pull it off. But, they didn't have any greats from Big Brother, like Tyler, Paul, Derek, Devon, Danielle, Vanessa, Memphis, any of the comp beasts that they've had on Big Brother. As much as y'all hate, or some of you guys hate Mitchie, people like that just killed the challenges time and time again and were comp beasts. They don't have any of them. None of them. So if this is the case, if this is the true cast, I have a feeling that this CBS spinoff is going to tank. I think that the only way that this cast of people can go in without having prearranged alliances and gameplay is if they go in as teams. If they split them up and they take a team and they put Survivor players and Love Island players and Big Brother players. But even at that, there's so many of them that you're still going to have, there's 30 people here. So if they split 15 and 15, to 2 teams, or if they split to 3 teams, it's 10 apiece. That's still a lot of the same people that were on a lot of the same shows together that work together. I just don't see it. I don't see how this is going to be competitive. I just don't see it. Like I said, the pre-gaming is going to be outrageous. And to have 6 players from BB23 that have all worked together. 3 from 22 that have worked together. And then you have 7 from Love Island Season 3 that worked together. Survivor's a little bit split up. You may find 2 or 3 people that were on the same season together. I just don't see how this is going to work. I will be covering it. It'll be interesting to see that they can make a go of it. They were supposed to film in February. They pushed back to March because they couldn't get the people that they tried to get. According to Janelle, they tried to call a bunch of the OGs back. Well, they're all married. They have children. They have jobs. It's not something that they can just leave for 3 months or 2 months or whatever this challenge is going to be. And when they start telling them that it's a spinoff of the Challenge MTV and that they were going to have intense challenges. They were going to be the scariest challenges that they've ever had. And they're trying to play off a lot to what MTV does with their challenge. I still don't see how they can call it the challenge. That's like MTV making a Big Brother or MTV making a Survivor. The challenge has always been on MTV. It's got its cast. It brings in a few new people every year, so you get a taste of rookies. And I don't see the CBS being able to pull this off the way MTV does. I know there's been a lot of talk asking if TJ was going to be hosting this one. We still haven't gotten any official word from CBS. So I'm just wondering if it had to do with the pay, because, you know, there was rumor that Josh from Big Brother was going to be on it, and he's been on MTV, but he makes quite a bit off of the challenge off of MTV. So CBS would have to pay him a crap ton to be able to get him away from there and onto CBS. I think he even made a post that said, give me the money or pay me the money or something to that effect. I also read somewhere that if they were on the Challenge MTV, they could not be on the Challenge CBS. I don't know if that's the case or not. Like I said, we haven't got any official word from CBS. I do know that it was scheduled in February. It was pushed off to March. Supposedly, they all got on a plane today in Miami and headed to Argentina to start filming. So maybe they'll give us a little bit more information. I just don't see how this is even going to compare to the original challenge. I don't think it can. But I'm a bit biased too. So we'll see. Tell me what you think in the comments. Who's not on this cast list that you would like to see? Who's on the cast list that you like? I mean, I can go off and look at it. I love Tiffany. I love Xavier. Alyssa got on my nerves a bit. Ozza, she's not going to be able. She was barely able to compete in the Big Brother challenges. The little games they did in the backyard, she couldn't keep up with that. I don't see her hanging in the air 1,000 feet over an ocean. Derek X is going to be on there. I like him, but again, he's not a comp beast. He's not physical. He's mental. He's really good at the mental. But if you watch the challenge, MTV, it's more physical. They have a few mental, but it's more physical. David Alexander, 2 seasons done nothing. How in the world did he even make this cut? Angela, we all know how she did. Enzo, he didn't win the challenges. He had a hell of a social game, but he didn't win the challenges. Christmas, she's athletic. A lot of people don't like her because her and Devon got into it during their season. But you have to give credit where credit's due. She is a comp beast. James Wallington, from the only player from Amazing Race. I don't know him, don't know anything about him. I don't recognize the name. If I went back and watched his season, I'd probably remember because I've watched all of the seasons of Amazing Race, Survivor, and Big Brother. Love Island. Can't tell you anything about them. I don't even remember if they had challenges on that show. So, like I said, I know nothing about it. I guess I would have to probably go back and look at some of the footage and see what kind of competitions they actually had, if any. Cinco, he's a built guy. He's probably pretty athletic. A lot of the girls, when I saw them, I'm thinking supermodel. You know, are you going to be able to get out there and compete? Or are you going to break a nail? I mean, I'm just being honest. I couldn't compete. I'm not a supermodel, but I couldn't compete with my size. And I know that. It's very, very physically draining. So like I said, I don't know anything about these girls. So I don't know if they're athletic or what. I think one of them was a fitness instructor from what I read. Or something like that. That may be different. But we'll see. Survivor, Sarah. She's a beast. She's killed everything she's went through. She's athletic. She's strategic. She doesn't always have the best social game, but she is very strategic. Tyson. Who didn't love Tyson? Well, I know there's a lot of people who didn't, but I love Tyson. I see him doing well. He's very athletic and very sociable. Dominic. I don't remember a lot about him. He was from Ghost Island. That's been probably 10 years back. But he looks like he's pretty built. Ben was a very strategic player, and he was physical. Heroes versus Healers versus Hustlers. That's been a minute. So he's got some years onto him. So we'll see if he's still as active as he was. Tasha Fox, she was on Kagayan. I still can't pronounce that. And Second Chances. I don't really remember that name. That's not a name that sticks out to me. I'd have to go back and watch the footage to refresh my memory, but it's not, when you think about Survivor, you think about Boston Rob, you think about the Queen, you think about Parvati. There's so many people that when you say Survivor, those names automatically pop in your head. Tasha wasn't one of them. Then we have Danny, Leona, and Chantel from season 41. Now, they worked together for a while. I love all of them. I think that they're all physical. And being on Survivor versus Big Brother, I think they're going to be able to handle the element better. Because they've already done this. They've already been out in the wilderness for 30-something days or whatever. Actually, with them, I think it was that was season 41, so that was last year. So that was a shorter version. But they were all physical. They've been out in the heat. I think that they can survive the climate and things, to whereas Big Brother's in a house, they're under air conditioning. If it's hot outside, they're under the heat if it's cold outside. They're not out in the elements. Even though the challenge, they're going to be in a house, but they're still going to have to go out and do challenges and be physical in that climate that they're not used to. Desi Williams. She was in Heroes, Healers, and Hustlers. She was pretty good. Again, that's another Survivor. CBS advertised this as featuring reality titans. I see a few, but I don't see a whole lot of reality titans. I mean, how can you do this and not have players, some of the best players from Survivor? You think about Sheree. You think about Yule. You think about Boston Rob, Parvati, Tony. Those names are the ones that pop up to me on Survivor. We're not seeing any of that. Survivor, again, it's, for the most part, it's the newest season. They don't have a lot of the old, Boston Rob, and things like that. So, that's my take. If I have to go with this list, I think the Survivor cast will do well as long as they don't get voted out. And if they have eliminations like MTV The Challenge does, then I see these people in Survivor, I see them winning. Like MTV The Challenge has, say, the Gauntlet or the Inferno. They go down, 2 people go down and they fight it out to see who stays. If it's like that, I see the Survivor cast going far. Because I think they are the most physically right for the climate that they're going to be in. Like I said, I don't know a lot about Love Island. So some of those people may prove me wrong. But I don't see Ozzy doing a whole lot. I love her to death. I loved her on the show. But I don't see her as being a challenge superstar. Kylan, I think that's going to be a hit or miss. Derek, he's not a comp beast. So if I had my pick, I would say that most of the Survivor players, for the most part, should do well. Most of the Big Brother players, I see maybe Christmas doing well if she doesn't get thrown into elimination time after time. I don't see David doing anything. He's been on 3 different shows now and hasn't done anything. Alyssa, I don't see her being a comp beast and a challenge type. Like I said, the Big Brother players are used to the backyard competitions. Yeah, it's a little physical, but it's nothing like the challenge. So anyway, that's my take for right now. We will see how that goes and see if anything else comes out. I'll be watching for it. Tell me what you guys think in the comments. And until next time, you guys have a good night and much love.